Hey everyone, welcome back to RJK English. Now we're going to go over the basic shapes of the Urdu consonants. Go over what the Roman version is. It's not very important. Initial, mid, and end point of all of these. So first the B cluster. Look back at our lessons on these clusters. So B includes pa. It includes, ba, da, and also this odd sa, which we don't use very much. Okay, so how does ba, the B cluster, how does that go into the initial? Looks like this, with a dot under it. Mid, this bump that you should be getting used to seeing now, with a dot below it. And at the end, it makes this little bump into the final shape. Okay, what if I wanted to make that a ta ending? What if I wanted to make it a retroflex T? Da. Okay, the Jim, the J cluster. This includes ja, ha, one of the H's, cha, ha. So J cluster, let's make a line here. J cluster starts out like this. Okay. In the middle, it comes down and into it. It comes from the top. So Urdu Nastaliq is the style of script for Urdu. It tends to slope down. Inhane, it tends to slope down like this. So it comes from above the J shape. At the end, it does the same, except the J shape ends like it should have. So it comes from above and into the J. Paunch, for instance. Bunch. This means the number 5. It goes P-A, ba, nch. All right? Let's go into the dal cluster. Don't have a lot of room here. Okay, the dal cluster is a D. Starts out like this. It's an initial version only. It doesn't connect forward. It only connects from behind. So it doesn't have a middle position. It only has an end position. It comes into the D like this. You come forward, you go up, you cut back into it and make the end of the D. So like Chand. Chand mera dil. Chandni ho tum. It means moon. Chand is moon. Chand. Okay, ra, the R. Again, only an initial. It's only an initial formation. Doesn't have a middle. It does have an end. Like char. Char. Char means 4. 4. Okay, S, the S formation. S starts out like 2 bumps. It goes from here, goes bump, bump, and onward. Like sal. Sal, which means year. In the middle, you go into 3 bumps and move on. At the end, it ends in the S formation, which is a hook. It goes bump, bump, and on the 3rd bump goes into the hook. Svad is similar, but it is a little harder to make. Okay, so Svad. Remember, look back at the video showing you how to make this. Cut back and over and onward. Okay, we make this part and then move on. In the middle, it's a little bit difficult. You go past this bump, cut back over, make your svod shape, and move on. See how I made that? I went in, cut back, made my svod shape, and moved on. Okay, at the end, same, except it changes into the actual svod. All right? The toy, one of the T's that we use. Toy. Starts out like this and onward. Connects that way. In the middle, just like the svod, you go past it and double back. Make the toy, cut down. So you shouldn't have to lift your pen. You go cut back, up, back down, and onward. Okay? At the end, you make the toy in the same way like that. Okay? Ein. Ein and line. Ein and line. You've seen this already because I've written it. Remember I talked about my friend Adil? Starts out like this. I really like this letter. So Isa, the name for Jesus, would be this. I think it would be like this. With an A above it. Isa. So it's the Ein to the E. E. But in Urdu you just say E. Or Adil. Adil, my friend Adil. Adil. Okay? So it's just like this. In the middle it looks totally different. Okay? It's kind of fun. It looks like Batman or something. Come in, up, over. Look, it looks like a little devil or something, you know? And you move on. At the end it's the same. Little devil, but then you cut back this way. All right? Qa and fa are the same except at the end. Qa and fa. So this is ein, this is fa and qa. Okay, starts out with loop and onward with your little dot there. Okay, why would that not be a wow, this oo? Because the oo doesn't connect to anything. Okay, it only can be an ending or a standalone. So fa and ka both look like this except they have different dots. Okay, fa. In the middle, same thing. Loop with a dot for fa, 2 dots for ka. And at the end, you end in the formation that it is. So if it's an F, it ends in an F like that. Comes in and ends. If it's a Q, it comes in and ends like a Q. All right? Ka, the kaf, the K. Starts out, looks like an L, moves on, and there's my mark that makes it a K. In the middle, go up and down, and now you have to lift up your pen, come up here and mark that K. See how it comes in and goes on. You're going to see that the L is the same, except it doesn't have this mark here. What if it was a G? I would just make 2 marks. That's a G. All right? At the end, you just make a K. You come into it. There you go. Okay, now our standalone letters. L. You're going to recognize this. How would I make that a K? I would put that mark right there, right? But it's not. This is an L. And it's taller than a regular beginning to a letter. Why is it not an aleph? Because an aleph doesn't connect onwards. So, lufs. I think lufs is like this. But it might be this. The swad one. Lufs. That means letters, like letters of the alphabet. Here's the L going into the fa. Okay, middle, just like you saw the K, except there's no mark. So I can make that a little better. Make sure to make it tall. And at the end, you come in and you go below that to form the L. See how it comes in here? And then you go like bal. Bal means moment. P-L, bal. And there's an in there. Okay? M. Counterclockwise circle. M. Mudded. Remember mudded? In the middle, it's a little bit awkward. Go under and over. It's an under loop. Okay? Some people make it like this, but I don't do that. I think that's more for Arabic. You go under. Kumbal, which means blanket. Kumbal. There's your M. And at the end, you just end in the M. Hum. This means we. H, M. Hum. Okay, N. Looks just like the B form. N. Just like the B form in the middle. And then at the end, it comes into almost a full circle. And you put the dot right in the middle. Okay, Arabic speakers might be used to putting dot above there, but it's in the middle in Urdu. Okay, go like this. Okay, wa does not connect to the next letter, so it is a standalone. So it only ends. And you can end just like we saw with this wa. But usually that's going to be an oo at the end. Usually. I can't think of, oh, palau. Palau. No, I think that's still an O. Palau? I guess you could make an argument that that was a wa, but whatever. Okay, the small h. This is a fun one. I love it. It looks like kind of like you're making a stick seagull, like kids when they make birds on a paper. Come down straight, cut back, and curve it over. And then make this teardrop 6 down from it. It hangs down from this inverted peak. Okay, like this. Cut back over. If you buy my book, I have demonstrations of this as well. All right? In the middle, same thing. Comes in, make the peak, and on. Like if I write pehle, meaning first. P-H-L-A. Pehle. Pehle. Oh, and the difference between this and the other H. This is pa. It's the same letter, P, but it's being aspirated. What's the difference between that and P going into this one? There is a vowel in between there. It's not pele, it's pehle. The H comes after the vowel. Pehle, pehle. You hear it? Okay, and at the end, it's this cool little tilde. Bakcha looks like this. That means male child, bakcha. This is pronounced ah, but that really is this ha. Okay, and that's a holdover from Persian. All right. Now this guy, you remember this is our aspiration mark. Some Urdu speakers, when they write, they use this one. I don't know, but usually it's not. Okay, so it starts off like this and moves onward. In the middle, you come at it, you always come at this like you're making a J form. See how I come in? Look, I could make a J from that. And I just curve back around. If it's standalone, it's like that. If it's moving on, I keep going. Here in the middle, I come at it just like I do the J form. And at the end, it just doesn't move on from there. It stops. Okay? The ya, this is a Y. Remember at the beginning, it looks like an E, but it doesn't have the aleph. In the middle, it's a bump. Piaz. Piaz. This means onion. There's the ya. It's actually piaz, not piaz. Piaz. And at the end, it would end like this, but that's really an E when it ends. Okay, so those are all the consonants as they show up in the words. We'll move on and do examples next time. All right, see you next time.